Hello, Peachies! Welcome back to Dear Peachy. Have you ever tried really hard to improve your makeup skills? Practiced over and over again, but every time you're done, something still feels off? Like nothing looks bad, but nothing looks special either. The techniques don't seem to work on your face, and your makeup somehow always ends up looking the same. If that sounds like you, then this video is definitely for you. Today, we're here to help you crack that code. Korean makeup is known for its weightless, airy, and subtle effects. Nothing is overdone. Everything is applied with intention, balance, and moderation. And that's exactly why it makes you look instantly more refined, more polished, and just naturally prettier. Today, we're featuring Xu, a well-known makeup influencer on XiaoHongShu. She's loved for her in-depth tutorials and her ability to adapt trending makeup styles to suit her own facial features. What makes her so special is that she doesn't just follow trends blindly. She analyzes, adjusts, and perfects them. If you have similar facial features to Xu, she's definitely someone you'll want to follow. Before getting started, Xu shares a very simple beginner formula that Korean idols and makeup artists often use to create that subtle yet effortless vibe. First, the overall tone of your makeup sets the mood. Korean makeup usually uses high brightness shades to enhance the complexion. Think peachy nudes for warm-toned skin, or milky pinks for cooler tones. These colors are focused around the eye sockets and airy, extending softly into the under-eye area and the center of the face. Blush is applied in a rounded shape and sometimes even swept onto the lips to create that soft, sweet girl look. Brows are kept light in color and relatively straight, giving the face a youthful and gentle impression. Next comes looking refined and delicate, which really shows in the details. That includes well-separated K-idol-style lashes, flat and straight eyeliner, softened liner edges using eyeshadow, subtle definition on the lower lash line, and tiny touches of shimmer placed at the inner corners and on the airy. The dewy skin finish is achieved by adding highlighter to the inner cheekbones, brow bone, and nose tip, which lifts the face and adds dimension without looking heavy. Now, let's get into the actual makeup process. Xu is going for a dewy finish today. For base makeup, she keeps things very simple. You can use any foundation you already own. Just try to avoid very thick or heavy longwear formulas. And here's a little secret. The dewy glow can be cheated. As long as you use a dewy cream blush and blend it properly, you'll still get that fresh glow even without a glowy foundation. She uses a small sponge to pat the blush directly onto her face, spreading it slightly wider across the cheeks, bringing it toward the center of the face, and wrapping it softly around the cheekbones. This technique creates a sheer, watery glow that looks like it's coming from within the skin. If you have warm-toned skin and pink blushes tend to make you look dull or washed out, low-saturation mauve shades are a great alternative. Xu uses this shade under the eyes, on the airy, and even on the eyelids, so the entire look stays within one color family and looks clean and cohesive. If you want to visually shorten your mid-face, you can add a bit of blush to the nose tip and a touch on the upper lip and philtrum. For the lips, lip blushing is one of her favorite techniques to make them look pottier. Using a small brush allows for more precision, and this is something Korean makeup artists absolutely love. It makes the lips look fuller, but still natural. For this step, she's using the Sophia Cream Blush in shade N2. This creates a natural gradient with lighter color on the outside and deeper tones toward the center of the face. By layering two blush shades together, the transition looks seamless and very skin-like. The second blush she uses is a cinnamon tone neutral, also from Sophia, in shade N5. For the tear troughs, since Xu doesn't have noticeable dark circles, she focuses on highlighting the groove instead. She shares that she used to avoid dewy blushes because she was afraid they would ruin her base. But she realized that as long as you're not using a thick, long-wear foundation, cream blush actually blends beautifully into the base rather than disturbing it. One important reminder when setting your makeup, only set the center of the face. Avoid the blush area completely. If you powder over it, the blush will turn matte and you'll lose that watery glow. And once the glow is gone, the vibes are gone too. For contouring, Xu uses a contour pencil to lightly trace along the sides of the nose alar and the nose tip, then gently pinches a bit of contour connecting toward the bridge. Just remember not to make the bridge too thin, or it'll start to look unnatural. For facial contour, she lightly shades the most prominent part of the cheekbones. For Xu, this is the small triangle area just outside the blush placement. For the jawline, she traces softly along the jaw, and then uses a clean puff to dab the contour inward along the jawline edge. For the cheekbones, she dabs outward to soften the structure. She also adds a little shadow to the outer eye contour, connecting it to the cheekbones and temple, blending outward on both sides for balance. For the nose contour, Xu uses a brush to blend the product forward. This technique visually pulls the nose alar inward and forward, creating the illusion of a smaller nose. From the front, the nose looks more defined, but it's important not to over-contour the tip. The bridge shouldn't be too thin either. It should stay parallel to the width of the nose tip for a natural look. Next, she further highlights the tear trough using a matte highlighter, lightly dabbing it directly onto the groove. To make the nose contour pop more, she adds a precise highlight to the inner corner, softly sweeping it to wrap around the area. This adds contrast and sharpens the center of the face. For eye makeup, Xu keeps it simple. Everything is layered from light to dark, and she builds it up gradually. She starts with a pink shade all over the upper lid as a base, then switches to a deeper brown and applies it into the crease, blending it outward and slightly downward toward the airy. The key to this eye look is deepening the darker brown shade along the lash line to define the eye shape. Using the leftover shadow on the brush, she applies it along the lower lash line to widen the eyes and softly trace the airy contour. Tight lining is a must. Xu fills in the inner lash line with a black gel liner, instantly making her eyes look rounder and more defined. She also notices that this helps reduce puffiness, as the double eyelids appear slightly narrower. Moving on to lashes, Xu tries 2 different sets of falsies, both with that airy, separated Korean style. She applies them directly onto her natural lashes without curling them first, which is a little different from the usual method. After applying, she brushes through them with mascara to enhance volume and length. Both sides look similar, though the right side is slightly denser. In the end, she prefers the cluster lashes because they give a more lifted and curved effect. Using black liquid liner, she extends a horizontal line at the outer corner of the eyes. Make sure not to lift it too much. This look is all about a straight, relaxed liner. For the lower lashes, she applies a bit of mascara. Since her lower lashes are quite sparse, she brushes them horizontally to maximize their appearance. To highlight the airy, Xu uses a pink-toned highlighter pencil and fills in the center. She jokes about how patchy airy makeup can get, and honestly, we all relate. She then traces a light brown liner at the lower inner corner to subtly lengthen the eyes. On top of that, she layers a fine shimmer using a cream-based airy pencil. To smooth out the transition, she adds a touch of milky pink eyeshadow across the lower lid. When it comes to brows, Xu observes that Korean makeup artists usually use at least 3 products. First, she fills in sparse areas with a brow powder, instantly making the brows look fluffy and soft. Then, she uses a slightly darker brow pencil to define and extend the tail. Since the space between her brows is a bit wider, she uses a liquid brow liner to draw a few hair-like strokes at the brow head for a more natural look. She goes back to the eyes to deepen the lower outer corner slightly, then uses the same brown shade to press over the black liner, blurring the edges and enhancing the depth of the eyeshadow. To make the look more photogenic, she refines the nose contour just a bit more. One of the most important steps in this look is applying matte highlighter to the brow bone, nose bridge, nose tip, and inner corners to sharpen the features. The eyes also need a little sparkle, so she dabs a shimmery shade at the center of the eyelid to add dimension and make the makeup pop on camera. Korean makeup pays attention to every detail, even the hairline. Sue cleans up her hairline using tinted hair powder for a polished finish. For lips, she applies a sheer, berry-toned lip color to give a natural flush. And honestly, she hasn't even done her hair yet, but look at that glow. It's so pretty! What do you think about this look? It looks so subtle and effortless, but it definitely takes a little more effort to master it. We are sure it will be worth your time. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you in the next video. Goodbye.